time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT, man. I am here live with my man, Christopher Burton.
People's Podcaster, what's going on, y'all?
And Chris, man, we are here, and we're going to talk about something that you did earlier today. You was at Turbo Pro Wrestling in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. Basically, Greenville, South Carolina. Fountain Inn, a suburb of Greenville, South Carolina. You was there live. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about
the news of the day. The news of the day.
Boy, the unbelievable. Incredible silliness release of R-Truth, and Carlito got released too. So we will talk about that. See, Ray Underwood is in the house. Says hello, Harry and Chris. What's up, Ray?
What's going on, Ray? What's up, man?
All right, Christopher, man, which one you want to talk about first? You want to talk about what you did at Turbo, or you want to go ahead and talk about the news of the day? Now, we can get to Turbo right after this. You know, hey, finish this thing off.
We can go ahead and get to the news of the day, man. Go and get to the news of the day, man.
Okay, so, well,
we
here. Man, you know, hey, it was a shock. And Ray hit me up. He wanted to hit me up last night about that. You know, Ray says WWE has lost his mind. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Man, and R-Truth, he's been with him, 25 years, I think.
17.
25 years. 17?
17.
Goodness sake, they said 20.
Because they ain't counting. They ain't count. Yeah, they ain't count that first. They ain't count that first time.
Okay, because they said
when he came in, because
so basically, let's say 17 years since they've been calling him R-Truth, because they was calling him when he first came in, it was K-Quick. Yeah, so but either way it go, let's just say he's a veteran of 17 to 20 years with the WWE, and they just up and let him go, man. And they brought Carlito back. Carlito was playing a major role with Judgment Day, even though, you know, they didn't have him in any major roles or anything like that. They were using him a lot, Chris. And
they were, man. They were.
What happened with that? Crazy.
Man, this thing is, I mean, I don't get it. I'm trying to understand, man, what possessed them to do what they did, man.
Listen,
I'm really trying to understand what possessed them to do what they did, man.
I have no clue, but like what everybody's saying, a lot of people are afraid of what WWE can do with the rest of the superstars. You know, some of their other favorites, if they can do that to R-Truth, and R-Truth was beloved by everybody. I mean, they just released Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman didn't get nowhere near the love that R-Truth got. I mean, people just really didn't bat much of an eye. They were just like, okay, they released Braun Strowman. A lot of people said, okay, they could do things with Braun Strowman, but now that they release R-Truth, not just them releasing R-Truth and how everybody loved R-Truth because he's such a comic relief, and there's so many things that you can write around him. There's so many ways that you can use him when they let him go.
I would say not even just him as a wrestler, man. Him as a person, man.
Yeah, him as a person, him as a character.
Yeah, no. I'm just talking about him as a person, man. If you've ever been on his TikTok, man, he is a genuine, honest to God, just straight up, honest, cool person, man. And that a lot of people in WWE have. I was on Twitter, on X rather, and a lot of people were looking at that, man. They were talking about a lot of superstars, man. Were like, man, we're going to miss you. You are awesome. This, that, and awesome. You're a wonderful person. That. You know, just that presence in the locker room, man. Just his presence of who he was or who he is as a person. Not even a character. Not even a superstar. Just him as a person.
Right.
That is going to be a major void in that locker room, man. A lot of people love just being around his infectious personality and everything, man. And now that's not going to be there, you know. And it's crazy, man, because I mean, Oh my gosh, that's like, man, that's like saying, okay, we say TKO and WWE did the unthinkable. You know,
Right,
that's like saying that's like saying John Cena is going to lose his title to Solo Sikoa, and Solo's going to hold it
right.
for like 18 years straight, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. So this whole thing makes no sense, man. Letting our truth go, man. I mean, I get it. It's a business at the end of the day. I get it. It's a business at the
100%.
end of the day. But still, there's got to be ways around certain things, man, and certain individuals, man, that you can hold on to, man, because there's plenty of people that we know that have jobs that shouldn't be in the jobs they have, or have them as long as they've had them because of whatever reason. But our truth is one of them people, man. You just don't, man. Come on, man.
That's true. What's going on, Scholar? I see our girl Scholar
Skylar,
Breeze is in the house. What's going on,
Skylar?
Scholar?
What's happening?
Man, look. I mean, it like you said, he's a great person. Somebody that you really don't want to approach. I mean, he's approached with something like that. He's one of these people these legacy people that you want to definitely just keep on the roster, just so he can be that locker room presence, could be, pretty much that motivation,
Mm-hmm.
or that, that father figure to a lot of wrestlers that's coming in. You definitely want to keep somebody like that. And like I said, man, he has a character that's just he can switch and do so many different things. It's just incredible. You don't want to lose an asset like that. And when I look at what the WWE did, do you think they just this could be a slap in the face, Chris? They could just be slapping. They could just did that to the fans to say, "Hey, we're in control, and we're going to do what we want to do. We don't really care." And look, this could be TKO Holdings doing that. And
possibly be a thing, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and see, look, when corporate takes over, and I mean, we can look at the WWE as a corporate entity before they sold over, and before they pretty much merged with Endeavor and sold everything to TKO Holdings, and then they was already huge, so we can already look at it as corporate because they went public with the company. But when it boils down to it, they really was a family-run company. It was the McMahons, Titan Sports. It was the McMahons. That's what it was. And as much as we look at it and say, it became corporate because everybody came in and bought up stock and all that, as shareholders and stockholders when it was a WWE within the last what they went public in 2001, 2002. 2003, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
Yeah, 20 plus years it's been basically public, but it was basically a family company. And you could throw a few wrestlers in there with the McMahons as far as saying they was basically the WWE or the World Wrestling Federation. But man, now TKO Holdings has gotten a hold of it. It's like, man, hey, forget about all of y'all and forget about the attachments. Because one thing I don't think TKO Holdings understand and Endeavor understand as far as wrestling fans, they don't understand wrestling fans. Like I said before, wrestling fans have an attachment, a personal attachment to their favorite. For wrestling fans and to the sport as a whole, they have an attachment to it. And I don't think Endeavor and I don't think TKO Holdings understand that you can't just up and trade these people or get rid of these people they play in the NFL or the NBA or something like that. Hell, we just trading up or whatever. You just can't do that. Without people.
That's what they think, though, man. That's what they think.
Oh, I know that's what they think.
And the IWC is about to have a fit, boy.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
IWC about to go crazy.
Yeah. All right. Scholar says nothing much. What's going on with y'all? You guys? Hey, just here to talk about. Talk about, hey, what's going on with these releases. I mean, these two releases basically, when it boils down to it, are true, but we'll talk about Carlito too. And Eric Thunder says, sup, infidels. Man, what's up,
Eric Thunder?
But, yeah, this is just flat out crazy, man. It's got my mind blown, Chris, and I really don't.
Oh, man.
I got a lot more. I got a lot more to say, but, I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and give a little bit more of your thoughts.
Man, this thing is just crazy to me, man, because I'm just like, okay. And here's what's so funny, man. Here's what's so funny. You release R-Truth. Okay. You release him, and now at the same time, a few hours later, you release Carlito.
Right.
So you release Carlito, and then within the same day, maybe the day before, whenever it was, but this joker go down to Puerto Rico and win the WCC World Heavyweight Championship, the WWC World Heavyweight Championship.
Right, right.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy. The man gets released and wins a championship. That's crazy.
Well, you know, the World Wrestling Council, and it was packed out too in that show, from what I see. But they went ahead and took advantage of the situation. You know, they capitalized on the popularity, even though he's always a popular figure. And his dad, his dad, Carlos.
That's his dad's company. That's their baby.
Yeah. So. The biggest name. You know, you can throw all the other wrestlers in on this. Nobody's bigger than Carlos Colon. As far as in Puerto Rico, as far as Puerto Rican wrestling, Carlos Colon is like a god to those people, man. When it boils down to it, he is their Ric Flair, he is their Hulk Hogan.
All in one.
Exactly. So Carlito, this probably was a big thing. Really, they built his name back up, and then he's down there, and that could be a new rise in popularity for the World Wrestling Council.
Exactly.
So hey, who knows, man? If they can get some good storylines and keep the momentum going on with World Wrestling Council, they can do some serious damage, especially with the WWE with the silly things they doing, just letting people go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. They just letting people go, Chris.
It's crazy. It is crazy, man. I mean, and like I said, budget cuts and all that. I get it, man.
Go back to that because I didn't read that.
Oh, okay.
But what Raymond said. Said R-Truth was putting butts in the seat. A lot of people came to see him try and get other wrestlers break character. Yes, sir. And a lot of guys did break character and just laughed at him.
Exactly.
And one of the greatest things I've seen in the 4 years that Chris and I have been doing this, one of the best things that I've seen.
Almost 5 years now. Almost 5 years.
No, it's going on 4 years.
Chris.
4 years. No.
Golly. Well, it seemed longer, man.
Yeah, it'd be 4 years. But listen. One of the best things I've seen, one of the top storylines I've seen is when R-Truth was trying to get in Judgment Day. That was incredible, man. That was actually incredible. They actually should have had him have a run with the Judgment Day. In my opinion, I think they fouled that up. It's sad because it reminded me of when Rick Steiner was with the Varsity Club. The way they were treating Rick Steiner, it reminds me of that. And they had and Rick Steiner was actually part of the Varsity Club, but they wanted him out of it. They was just didn't like him. Thought he wasn't as smart as Rotundo, Dr. Steve Williams, and Kevin Sullivan. They were like, you're just not smart enough to be in the Varsity Club. But that became a big storyline over there in WCW, and they used that thing, man. It ran pretty good, and it reminded me of that. And I was like, man, if they can just step over the line, just get it to where it needs to be, they can have a storyline similar to that. But it's like they didn't really know how to finish it. But, they just went ahead and had Damian just jump him and beat him or whatever, but they didn't really know how to finish it. But they had a great little storyline. And it's one of the most memorable things that's happened in wrestling, in my opinion, within the 4 years that we've been doing this. It's not many things that top that. Besides,
that's bad, Harry. That's bad if you say that.
It is.
It is a highlight of your 4 years.
I mean, it is. How many more things can you think of that tops that?
But Cody finishing the story, boy.
I mean, Cody finishing the story. I was going to say that. Cody finishing the story in the bloodline. That's about it. What else can you think of out of those two, Cody and the bloodline, topping that Judgment Day thing?
Don't
come with the yeet thing, man. That thing dying down.
I ain't never gonna say that, boy.
Yeet.
That should never started, boy.
That's true.
I'm gonna do a petition to stop that, but I'm gonna call congressman or something, boy. That's gotta stop. But you got kids graduating talking about some yeet, 4 letters, one word, yay. Yeah, man,
It's
that's
crazy,
crazy.
man. But yeah, they just can't. As far as adults, well, some adults are really getting into it, man. But yeah, I have no clue. I don't know how much longer they're gonna go with that. But TKO Holdings, they got to be in Triple H's ear. They running this thing right now. They really are.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is saying, hey, I see this person is popular, that person is popular. These are the people that you put the titles on. These are the people that we want you to push. And we're gonna push them out there. We don't care about anybody else. Let everybody else stay back in catering. We're gonna get rid of other people and we're gonna run commercials. That's what they're doing. Straight up.
Man.
We're gonna run commercials and make as much money and we're gonna grab as much money out of people's pockets as possible.
And it's working, but it's working.
Well, it's working with a select few, man, because the thing is, what people don't realize, people that seeing, do not just look at the dollars. I mean, you can look at the dollars all you want. I mean, Kmart had a way to make money before they went out. Sears had a money way. Sears and Kmart, they were making money before they went out. Just because you double the ticket prices on people, or triple. I mean, because in certain instances, it was 3 and 4 times as much as the old tickets were. So they made money off of people because they said, okay, poor Harry and Chris, hey, we're not getting it from Jim, Tom, Donald, and Greg. We're not getting it from them, but Harry and Chris, they're willing to pay that $400 for those tickets right there. So let's go ahead and sell it to those two. And hey,
they sitting up at the top, $400 at the top.
Yeah, hey, we done made our profit. We still done made that money that we would have sold to those 4 that's not coming to the show anymore. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's all. They just passing the buck off to the next person. All right, let's go ahead and start getting some comments, Chris.
All right, man. So where were we at, man?
Ray was the last one when he said our truth for putting butts in the seat.
All right, man. Eric Thunder says, hey, Bernard Taylor, I've told you to shut your mouth and learn to take a breath, boy.
yeah, whatever, Eric Thunder. I hear you, man.
Our girl Laura Presley, man, from Peaches and Power Bomb, she's in here. What's up? She says,
what's going on, Laura?
Yeah, it's a late night edition of Straight Up Wrestling Show.
No doubt.
Burn the midnight oil.
Yep.
We were supposed to be on like 82 hours earlier, but that didn't happen though. But
yeah.
All right. Laura says our truth release is just mind-boggling. He is one of the most over guys, no matter what he was put in. Charismatic to no end, loved to run from TNA, being the first champion to 3 Live crew. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was the first black NWA champion, so you can't take that from him, man.
Right.
So you cannot take that from him at all.
Hmm.
Scholar Breeze says exactly.
Yep.
And Laura says, I'm not really surprised by Carlito. Didn't take the Judgment Day seriously after he was at it in.
Right. Yeah. As far as Carlito go, I mean, that's not really a big loss. I mean, you could pretty much see the writing was on the wall. Carlito. You can see that. You can see it coming.
Yeah, you can replace Carlito, man.
Oh yeah,
but
no doubt.
But Carlito was good for the Judgment Day in certain situations.
Right.
As far as the matches and everything, he was good for him. But now they're gonna have to find a way to work around that. So. And then with Dom being popular as he is, being an IC champion, I don't see Judgment Day really sticking around too much longer. But we'll see. They might.
Oh yeah.
All right. Laura says, "Stop hating on my boo thing." Oh Lord, have mercy. I'm not that dad blame Yeet. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Then Scholar. Oh Lord, talking about that. Goodness gracious.
Man, go ahead and acknowledge them, Allure and Scholar. They love the Yeet. They love the Yeet. All right, Robert Brown, what's up, Robert?
Harry, man, me saying Yeet is like making you try to eat chitlins. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
It ain't gonna happen. Robert Brown in the building, man. Lafayette in the building. Lafayette, Indiana in the building. What's happening, y'all? What's happening?
What's going on, Robert? It's good to see you, man. Definitely good to see you.
Robert Brown says technically R-Truth was the second. Bobo Brazil was the first black NWA champion. Harry, you know about Bobo winning that belt? That's that. At
Bobo
that time,
never won. Bobo was the WWA world champion. Robert Brown. He never
I
was
was
the
about to
NWA
say,
world
I was
champion.
about to say during that time, Bobo, no, he
Bobo
was
was the
not about to get that belt.
WWA World Wrestling Association champion in San Francisco. But no, he never won the National Wrestling Allowance
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah, I was about to say during that time when he was wrestling, that was not about to happen, boy.
And well, actuality, he won the WWE World Championship. He beat Bruno Sammartino, and he gave the title back to Bruno. But he did win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship too at one time, and that is some kind of technicality where he gave that back. But the person who won the first WWE World Heavyweight Championship, a black wrestler, his name was Bearcat Wright. Bearcat Wright was the first one who won that. So, but Bobo Brazil never won a world championship, even though he was world championship quality. He could have held on to a world championship, but he did beat Bobo Brazil. But it was over. It was a not disqualification or something like that, or a count out, and he didn't want it to change hands like that. So he gave the belt back because that's how it was back in the day. But I think they was going to go ahead and award the title to him anyway, but he decided to give it back. But he beat Bruno Sammartino for that World Wrestling Championship in 1963. I do know that happened. So.
Oh wow, man, yeah, but that was wild, man. They even got Eric Thunder on this stuff, but
yeah,
you gotta say it here. I can't say it, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everybody's into this Yeet thing, man, big time. I mean, it's crazy. It really is.
But somebody just please help me understand what's going on out here.
It's outrageous. It really is. But hey, man,
you
gotta roll with
it. But since we on this news of the day, man, other big news, Harry, and we've said it for the longest, but we didn't know if or when it was gonna happen. Your boy Vince McMahon is got something cooking.
Oh, big time.
Your boy, yeah, Vince McMahon got something cooking. And well, look, Harry, we got a special guest coming in right now.
I had to come on for a few minutes and chat with y'all. I was like, dang, they up late. I'm up late too.
What's going on, Laura?
Laura Presley, ladies and gentlemen, from Peaches and Power Bombs.
Yeah, we didn't get to have our show last week. We had a lot going on. I'm currently taking a break, but we were going to do a special episode, and we didn't get to do that. But I was like, the guys are on here. I kind of wanted to talk to y'all anyway because y'all went to a show too. I mean, whatever y'all talking about, let's do it.
Okay, definitely.
All right, but
now see here, I can get with that. Yada, I mean, I can get with that. Now that's what I can get with right there.
Now that's something that gets on my nerve too. Yada yada mean, but that gets on my nerve, man.
I can do that all day, but I don't know.
I like Jacob. Look, I like Jacob to a certain point, but I still can't get over. And I'm not gonna say he doesn't have talent. He has a lot of talent.
Oh yeah,
but I'm still not gonna get over what they're trying to do with him either, because when it boils down to it, Chris, if he gets more popular than, say, Jay, he's gonna have the title, man. They're gonna put the world title on him. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who is the most popular. It's about who's the most popular. That's who they're gonna put the title on, straight up. And look, we can talk about the Yeet Man all we want, but the Yeet Man is not.
Y'all stop hating on my boo thing. Y'all just jealous.
Oh, the Yeet Man, boy.
Still, LA Knight is outselling him in t-shirts. Cody Rhodes is outselling him. Has more t-shirt sales. CM Punk has more t-shirt sales. I think Jay is like 4th or 5th. So How long are they going to? How long are they going to decide to keep the title on him just because kids are screaming yeet? And it's not just kids, mostly. I mean, the kids are going crazy, so the parents are joining in on it.
Of course. But now, what killed me, man? I posted in the group them videos of kids, people, young adults, teenagers graduating high school doing that thing. I was like, now this is really.
I think it's also.
Of course you would.
I gotta talk to my nephew and my godson because they're both seniors this year, and you know how in the yearbook and stuff, they can do like a quote. I'm gonna have to tell them, please do not do the 4 letters, one word, yeet. Please don't. Because my nephews would 100% absolutely do it. Because
hey, at this point, it would not surprise me if they did. It wouldn't be surprising if somebody's already done it.
But
yeah.
The truth of the matter is, look, it's a good thing for wrestling if these kids out here yeeting, man. Because look, you got a lot of people in that crowd is not going to know what they're talking about or what they're doing. A lot of the high school kids don't watch wrestling. Some of them do, and they're doing that, and he's like, "Where's this coming from?" Oh, we're watching wrestling. That's gonna have a lot of other kids say, "Oh, let's watch it and see what's going on." And then you're gonna have parents that's gonna look and watch it and say, "Hey, where does yeet coming from?" Even if they watch it a whole bunch of matches and Jey Uso haven't came out there yet, they're gonna wait to see who this person is that's yeeting. So that is a big plus for wrestling because wrestling hasn't had anything this big in a long time to really draw the general public.
Right. And I was going to say too, and I think it's more widely accepted today versus like 25 years ago when I went to school. I mean, everybody knew I was a wrestling fan,
right?
But I wouldn't even dare do like. That's the bottom line because Laura said so. I wasn't about to do all that. Y'all, I had the hardest time coming up with a quote, and I quoted something from a video game because I thought it sounded really cool, and it actually sounds really dumb. And then it was like a day after the quotes were due, I found like the life quote I use is when there's a will, there's a way. I was like, day late and dollar short. But yeah, I mean, a lot of kids, it's more accepted today. There's more of access to like merchandise and stuff. Like y'all know back in the day, you had to send in an order by mail to get a t-shirt. That's how I got my Austin t-shirt was through the mail. And now you can get whatever you want online, and geez, my nephew's got a bunch of shirts from God to AJ Styles and Undertaker, and both of my nephews. I mean, they, we were just lucky to get the Stone Cold T-shirt, and I had one shirt, DX. The original, well, no, it was all of them with X-Pac and all them, and I remember wearing it at school one day, and they're like, "Hey, if you're wearing a wrestling shirt, take a picture for the yearbook," and I'm like, "I should have."
You're like,
and my brother wore a shirt the same day, and we should have did it. Well, he did. I didn't.
At that time when DX and all those guys was hot, Stone Cold Steve Austin and all. That right there, a lot of people was coming into it and really accepting wrestling at that time. But I mean, it died out within, in a short period, it died out because they just got a little too extreme with the way that wrestling was being carried. All right, well, Chris go too. Right. But
I don't know.
All right, but I mean, you do.
Boogeyman got him.
Like I said, I mean, if you go back to when I was in high school, I mean, we could talk to anybody. You didn't have to be afraid to say anything to anybody about wrestling or be like, "Oh, I was watching wrestling last night," because there was always somebody in your class talking about it or somebody on the hall. It was always 2 or 3 people talking about it, and just about everybody joined in. And even if you did not, even if you wasn't a big time wrestling fan, but everybody knew who Ric Flair was. I mean, in the South, everybody knew.
Kind of like Hogan. Everybody knew who Hogan was. And then when Stone Cold broke out, everybody knew who Stone Cold was.
Exactly. But
I love it too, because like back then, like you were starting to learn about the dirt sheets and stuff.
Right.
And when I got the internet and I discovered like Lords of Pain and I think it was WrestleZone I first started looking at. Mm-hmm. I remember telling my classmates about it. So like when we get to class, they're like, "So what'd you hear about today? What's going on with, say, like the Undertaker?" And I tell them what I saw. Like I was the Dave Meltzer in class. They're like, "Oh wow, have you heard about this person?" Or
that is funny.
And to this day, people still like message me, text me, DM me. "What do you think about this? Have you heard about that?" And I'm just like, I'm used to it now.
Chris,
and now that we podcast, it's even funnier now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not gonna be man.
So Robert Brown said, "I had my facts wrong, but Brazil was offered the title but didn't take it from his understanding."
Okay.
And Robert said, "Sorry for my the misfact." You good, Robert? It happens. It happens to the best.
No doubt.
Robert says, "Lord Presley, how are you?" Okay. Robert says, "Jay Uso swagger jacking." Eric
man.
Thunder says, "Jay Uso unfortunately has created a movement almost similar to the times of Hulkamania." Not quite that big. It's not quite that big.
Yeah, y'all glad I'm on here and not on ours, because I would be hitting the fight me button like 5 times.
Eric,
it's big, but it ain't big as Hulkamania. Hulkamania was huge.
Oh yeah, no, of course not. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I can see the comparison. I can see the comparisons.
Yeah,
but
look, I'm not even gonna say I can see the comparison, Chris. All I can really say is what can I say? It's a mediocre Hulk Hogan type run, because look, he has the thing about Jay Uso. He has a saying, okay? He has a saying. That's all it is to it. But do we see Jay Uso being as hot as the Road Warriors, as their pop? The Road Warriors pop was just, there's nothing like that. Do we see Jay Uso as big as the Ultimate Warrior? I don't really see. The Ultimate Warrior was huge. Ultimate Warrior come out, man, just running out, and just people just went crazy. And the fans was up the whole time he was in the ring wrestling. From the beginning to the end, the fans were just going crazy. So I don't see Jay Uso on that level. He hasn't surpassed those guys yet. He haven't surpassed Sting's top popularity when he was in WCW.
There's Mina.
Yep.
Y'all heard her this whole time, and I had to go get her. Look, this is what we're doing. We're podcasting. Say hi.
He hasn't, in my opinion, he's not as popular as what Magnum TA was at his height.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, but Eric, I know Eric, some of these things are before your time, but I'm just saying, look, man, I saw the Rock and Roll Express, and Chris did too. Man, Chris, we're older than you. When Rock and Roll Express was just hugely popular in the NWA.
Shoot, they still draw today.
They still drawing today.
Yeah,
I mean, they come out there
and do teeny boppers are grandparents now.
They do an 8 to 10 minute match, and the crowd just the whole time, everybody just up the whole time, just going flipping nuts. So
I mean, you hear rock and roll like 300 times during the match.
Yeah, I mean,
they can still draw.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man volume was bigger. So Eric Thunder, hey man, look, I know it's amazing that we're seeing that today, and it's sad. It's sad because think about it. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, LA Knight, he was just as popular. He just didn't have that saying. He didn't, he had a thing, but he was just as popular. This Jay Uso thing, Jay is not bigger than Roman Reigns. So we can't say that just because he got people going to, who doing that. He's not as big as Roman Reigns.
Right. I mean, I don't think anybody's really arguing that. I just think it was his turn, and whether this reign lasts 2 months or whatever, it's just something nobody's going to be able to take away from him, and he's over with the kids. He's very much over.
It's big. I mean, it is big. It's just
and I was going to say too, like I know y'all just went to Raw, and then I went to SmackDown the same week.
Right.
Yeah.
I can pretty much tell you, like, R-Truth got a massive pop, and LA Knight still gets a massive pop. So I mean, there's both of them. Like, well, in terms of LA Knight, we're talking about LA Knight. I mean, he's still like one of the most over guys. And when I went to Columbia 2 years ago, he was so over. Like,
see, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking back just a couple years back, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when LA Knight was just super over, man. So I felt
like he was getting like the Stone Cold pop,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of his charisma and the LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? he was doing that at a quicker pace than what Jay is doing. I mean, to me, Jay is building up the crowd. He continues to build it up, and people are doing it. So that's the way I'm measuring it. I'm measuring it. I'm putting it on a measuring stick like that because I'm looking at it as being overhyped. Just put it that way. So but Chris, let's go ahead. But I understand what you're saying, though, Eric. I definitely understand what you're saying. But it's just that I'm going to put it in proper perspective. I really am. I look at every single thing and say, okay, is this a trend?
Harry's an overthinker, y'all. Harry's an overthinker, boy.
Hey,
he just
can't
get
Harry started.
I'm always, I'll overthink
It's kind of like the pastor in the church. When the Holy Spirit hits, they're going to go on and on and on. That's Harry when it comes to this stuff.
All right, let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these comments, man. Let's go ahead and keep it.
All right, we got Black Rain in the building. Says, "What's up? What's going on, Black Rain? Glad you made it.
What's up, Black Rain 7920, my man?"
Robert Brown says, "Not a huge fan of Hogan, but I can't see the comparison between Hogan and Jey Uso."
He said he can see I think he said he can see.
He can't. He can't see it.
Oh, he said he can't.
I don't have my glasses on, and it's can't.
Yeah, it is can't. It's can't. Yeah, I see that down.
See, it's getting late.
These transition glasses, boy, they killing me, but they give me a headache.
But you gotta get used to them, boy.
Yeah.
And
believe me, driving at night.
Like, I can use my glasses, but like, you see the blue screen and you can't really see my eyes, and it drives me buggy. So I was just like, I'm at that age now where I'm just like this. So like,
I do that
it's completely acceptable.
Yeah. All right, Captain Commenter says, sup. What's up, Captain?
What's going on, Captain?
It's going to Straight Wrestling Show and Peaches and Power Bombs tonight. Robert says, Tati from Wrestling Tati spoke on the Bobo Brazil situation in her short videos. Yeah. Yep. What Eric say, Chris?
Eric Thunder said Jey Uso in those times, no, if they were still around today, I think it would be a tight race.
Yeah, it would be, but then again, I mean, look, I'm not even gonna think like that because look, I'm gonna compare. If I do, I will compare Jey Uso to that time, and I will be asking, do you think Jey Uso would have been over during that time? And I say no, he wouldn't have been because it
would have been hard for him too. On top of that, because that was the big man era. And him being not a big man, if you compare Hogan's time and put Jey Uso in that time with the momentum Jey has now, he would be I hate to say it, he would probably be a jobber, man, because of his size.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, even though he may be a beloved fan favorite and everything, but he would be a jobber because of his size and during that time and era. I hate to say it.
Look, there was guys similar to his size that was really good. That was good wrestlers during that time. But I have to look at his skill set compared to the skill set that was going on back then, and he just wouldn't have fared too well, in my opinion. It just really depends on where you would have been.
Rikishi might have something to say about that.
It don't matter if Rikishi has something to say again about it or not. But just I'm saying,
I'm being funny because he always got something to say when somebody talks about.
But I mean, the bottom line is, look. If I take it depends on which era. Look, if I take him back to the 80s, say mid 80s. Come on now, Chris. I can throw him in the regional. I can throw him in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, which was ran by Jim Crockett. Could you see this guy up there with Nikita Koloff, Sting, Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and Rick Steiner came Sting, all those guys on that roster at that time, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. Could you see this guy
Your internet is lagging, man. Your internet.
Yeah. It is okay. That's fine.
Your internet is lagging here.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me? But out of those people that I just named,
yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear Harry fine.
Okay.
Maybe it's you, Chris. But then again, it could be me.
But what I'm saying is,
I could nobody.
But he would have been a jobber back then. That's what I'm. Yeah, you're right about that. He would have been a jobber, not just because it was big man.
Okay.
But he would have been a jobber big time.
Everybody seems to be frozen. What's going on here?
Oh, maybe you're frozen.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could still hear. Yeah, I can hear you fine, Harry.
Yeah. So I don't know, Chris.
Everybody froze for a second on my end. I don't know what happened.
Okay. No, but did you hear all the people that I just now listed that I just went off, that I just talked about?
Going, but everybody else.
Goodness sake.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna come back on in just a minute here. So, but all right, is everything cool?
I'm good over
what
here.
Now? Because
I say, is everything cool? Can you?
Y'all go ahead, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I just keep glitching over here for whatever reason. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep in. Well, Laura, if you see any problems over here, definitely let me know.
I will.
All right.
I will.
All right.
Sure.
But
for sure.
But yeah, I don't know if he would have been a jobber or not. I think he would have been a decent wrestler. But to me, right now, that's all he is. He's a decent wrestler. He's a C wrestler. He's a C+ wrestler at best. Now with his brother,
you're so glad I don't have to fight me.
Yeah. But look. All you females, like I say, y'all have a crush on this guy. I can understand. I definitely can understand that.
It's I don't know what it is between the Anawais and the Fatus.
Right.
Those genes. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like that. They just have a fascinating gene pool. I'll just say that.
hey, listen. The dude has swag.
Oh, yeah.
He has swag.
He's very charismatic. You got to know that.
He has style. He has everything that a female is looking for. He and a lot of guys would want to be like him.
Right.
He exhilarates what cool is about. And that's what got over guys like, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the Austin Idols back in the day, wrestlers like that, the Shawn Michaels, that cool factor. And that's what wrestling needs. It needs
Y'all
more
couldn't
people
tell
like
me
that.
nothing but Shawn Michaels in the 90s. Oh, yeah, my God, that was my first.
Wrestling needs more people like that. LA Knight. That's the reason, LA Knight, I don't think is a great wrestler, but LA Knight is one of these people that you actually need as far as wrestling to grab the general public. Hey, I admit that.
He can command your attention.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely need people like that.
You got people that are you got some people that are amazing wrestlers, but their charisma isn't that great. Andrade would be a great example. I love Andrade, don't get me wrong, but I think he I think he really lacks in that, and that's why him and Zelina Vega worked so well together in NXT, because she was his mouthpiece.
Right. Oh yeah. Some people, that's exactly what they need. They got to have a mouthpiece. But that's one thing. Jay don't really need that. And when him and his brother, they just incredible together. They really are. And
yes,
I really like
that's that twin factor too. That's it's not something you see all the time. It was something different. And you see for lack of a better term, you really see the twin magic happening, because they're so in tune with each other. And, like with the Bellas as well, the Bellas was like, same thing. And the fact that we had male and female twins in that same, in that same timeline, that's crazy. Like, that's pure happenstance,
Okay. Yeah. Chris said there's a computer doing an upload, so he'll be back shortly. That's cool, Chris.
Okay.
But listen, and one thing I like about Jay when he wrestled with his brother, I mean, they covered each other. I mean, and they was an incredible tag team. And I will have to put them in my top 10 tag teams of all time when it boils down to it. And it's not many teams I've seen out here in wrestling today that I can actually say that about. None of them, actually, I would say. I wouldn't say that about, about the Young Bucks. I wouldn't say that about Penta and Phoenix, even though I love them. But I'm not going to put none of those teams in that top 10 pool outside of the Usos that I've seen. Usos, those guys actually have it. I mean, they're incredible an incredible tag team to watch. And so, I would love to see those two back together, but I
think we will see them before long.
Yeah, I do agree with the WWE. Hey, milk it, grab as much as you can off of this. I mean, get as much as you can. Hey, pour the honey out, and hopefully everybody suck it all up until there's no sweetness left in it.
Right.
Well, hey,
and the thing is too with Jimmy, they're kind of doing more of a solo thing with Jimmy too.
Right.
I don't see Jimmy in world title contention per se, but I could see him in like the United States Championship run, and I could see him going after Jacob Fatu or whatever, but let them enjoy their solo run, and I think they can learn more being on their own, and when they come back, go back as a tag team, whatever they might learn during their solo run, they could apply that when they tag again. You never know.
Exactly. All right, let me get to some of these comments here.
All right.
Laura. Let's see. To get back up here in just 1 second. Where Chris stopped at, I'm not exactly sure. I think he had, what the heck? It's more than what I thought here. Let's say everything to Jay Uso in those times. No, if they were still around today. I think
that was the last one you had.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Thank you. Robert said the Outsiders drew more than Jay Uso. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Of course. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, big time. Robert says Triple H needs to slow down. The book too fast. He's booking too fast. I think he's saying that. Eric Thunder says Eli Drake opponent LA Knight is an overrated wrestler who has to get in all his spots no matter the situation. Yeah.
I think he meant Oops because that was his name in TNA.
Okay. Oh, Eli Drake. Okay. Oops. Okay. I didn't really see that. Okay. Yeah. But Eli, let me look. LA Knight, like I said, I don't think he's the greatest wrestler in the world, but man, they need to capitalize on it, and they need to have some consistency as far as what they do.
When he's done wrestling, because he's around my age, I think. But
yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah. When he decides to step away from the ring, I could totally see him in a manager role or a commentator role.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Robert says, R-Truth booking sucks. Even what? Wait a minute. But he's just let me get that on my phone. What do I got here? That looks kind of R-Truth booking sucked. Even the R-Truth overpay should have been got R-Truth out of the comedy's routine. I can agree with that, but
yes,
I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes to pull. Some of the things got a little silly, but man, you got to use.
He made it gold. Everything that was thrown at him, he made gold. And I want to point this out too. I'm glad he said that because when I was in Savannah for SmackDown, he came out and cut that promo. To which I did record it. I did went live on there.
Okay.
During that part, and you could see it on Peaches and Power Bombs. You know, people around me were just like, "Oh wow!" Like a lot of these people were probably casual fans or hadn't, watched for a little bit.
Right.
Welcome back. But it was like they were kind of surprised that R-Truth was cutting a serious promo. I'm like, y'all sleeping on R-Truth. He been know how to do that, you know?
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
so I really loved and appreciated seeing that side to R-Truth, and I thought that was a great moment for him in the night before Saturday night's main event, and I love the whole Ron Cena thing. That was so funny.
Yeah, it was. That was hilarious. That was.
Yeah. I would probably get that shirt if I could.
All you gotta do is get a Cena shirt and then take Ron on it.
All right, Robert Brown says, "You okay, Hat?" I think he's talking to you, Chris. Not sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys spoke to Scott Larson?
I haven't lately.
Yeah.
We
talk to him whenever we get a chance to all the time. All right, Black Range 7920, everyone. Today is Overhyped, Harry Entertainment, Music, and Athletes. All right.
Taylor Swift and Beyonce is the top 2 on my list.
Taylor Swift and Beyonce, okay. I like Taylor.
I mean, I appreciate their music. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a stan or anything. But Jesus.
All right, let's see what we got here now. All right, Triple H don't know how to book. That's what Robert Brown's saying. Okay, yeah, but he's not great at it. I can tell you that. In my opinion, he's not.
The man said
that was Chris.
The man said it in his Hall of Fame. He's like, some ideas I'm gonna do that you ain't gonna hate, and some I'm gonna hate.
And I think too, in a way, it's trial, and some things are trial and error.
No, I'm not error.
Yeah, I see.
Some it could be trial and error because this is what his second year doing this, and and it's gonna be like that anytime someone new takes over. Excuse me. He's going to come up with an idea that's not going to be over, or he's going to come up with an idea that's going to be wonderful. And it's just going to happen. That's why I wish they would go back to doing house shows, because they actually tested that stuff out in house shows to see how the audience responded to that. And, I'm all for them to the talent having some extra time off. I'm not knocking them for that, but I think in a lot of cases, you're losing out on that opportunity, and I do think that's one of the reasons why ticket prices have doubled, because they're not making money from those house shows.
Exactly, that's
2
true.
or 3 extra days worth of house shows, so they're trying to make up for that lost revenue. Because you can thank COVID for that, because they stopped that right after COVID.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what did the Black Rain say?
Black Rain says Thomas X and
I don't know who he's talking about.
Thermite were great twins on G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. What in the world? Why is the joke talking about G.I. Joe? Jim Milton talking about Roman Reigns has been released by WWE.
I doubt that.
No, Jim. No.
I seriously doubt that.
Yeah, they might as well shut down if they do that.
Even if he ain't wrestling a lot, man. Ain't no
yeah,
way
they might as well
shut
the doors, man, if they do something like that, because people go flipping crazy. Like you said, Chris, even though he's not wrestling, I mean, that's like they like saying if they just walk in the door and next thing you know they say, "Hey, tell Jey Uso we're releasing you," and then they put it out there. He's the hottest thing in wrestling right now, and we see they released it. That would be hilarious, man.
Man, that'd be like the Randy Monkey beating Ric Flair in his prime for the title, boy. That's unheard of, man.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But Jim Milton, yeah, it's man. If they do that, that would wow. That would just blow everybody's mind.
I don't think that's happening, but then again,
anything
can happen, right?
That's true, Laura. Anything can happen. But we appreciate everybody coming on with HBT, Christopher Burton, and my girl Laura Presley. This is Straight Up Wrestling Show with Peaches and Powerbomb special guests. Hey, if you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you're here on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these, and do the same thing over on Twitch. We are live on Twitch. And anytime you see us over on X, you hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. And what else, Mr. Christopher Burton?
Follow Straight Up Wrestling Show.
And if you're not part of Peaches and Power Bombs, go ahead and hit.
We are on X, we are on YouTube, and we are on Facebook. Instagram more or less is a dead account, and and you can also follow me on TikTok at Laura Presley.
All right, so follow, share, and we appreciate each and every one of you because there's a lot of people coming on here tonight, and we definitely appreciate that 100%.
I think a lot of us just isn't okay after the news of R-Truth. I mean, we're just all kind of grieving together because I know when I saw it this evening, I was like, what in the entire F? Y'all got me coming on in my little moo-moo and everything. Like,
okay, hey, I'm in a different room. I'm in a little darker room in. Everything.
Anything can happen.
Exactly.
Straight up.
All right. My man Eric says, don't forget the horrible Mercedes Monet.
Ooh, you really ain't gonna like it after All In because I think she's gonna win.
Yeah, I take it he just don't like them.
You know what? Their promo on Dynamite Wednesday, their face off was really good. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. Dynamite. Well, no, I was watching Collision Saturday night. Did I watch?
What time did it actually air? Because somebody was telling me
it came on after the basketball game. It came on 11 something. I watched basketball. I watched the NBA. I watched the playoff game, and I was about to go off. I'm about to go to sleep. Next thing you know, come on. So I went ahead and did it. Went into it. And
I'll probably watch it tomorrow and watch.
I watched the first 3 matches. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And I hate to say this. I mean, I hate to say it. I ain't gonna say I hate to say it. I think Tony Khan, he's not doing anything different. They're doing the same things, but they actually still look like a wrestling company when the WWE, in my opinion, is going away from the looks of a wrestling company. And like I said, Chris, WWE, it looks like something. What did I say? It looked like American Gladiators. It looked like the circus or something like. It looks different. It looks like they squeezing wrestling into a circus. And
it's like advertisement central too, because they got advertisements all on the turnbuckles and in the ring, and I really don't really like that. I get it, but I don't really like it. No, SmackDown's a little better, but I mean, this is the question I want to ask y'all. How was Raw in person? Because I can only imagine it's a totally different ball game now since it's Netflix era.
Yeah, it was live, man.
It's Jack in Greenville. I mean, we got to get you down here. I know you a little farther out than your partner, than Majestic Marie, but we got to get you down. So next time it comes, like say, me and Chris,
we got to get you here.
Definitely get in touch with us. We'll try to get you down some kind of way.
Yeah, I would love to.
We'll go with you.
I'd love to do something with everybody, and
exactly. And we'll get you here.
Cool.
Now, if you're going with me, I'll just let you know it's an all day event with me from 10.
Yeah, Greenville
10 in the morning to show over. It's all day event for me.
Greenville's gonna pump it up either way it goes. It's just a big wrestling town. So Raw was really it was hyped. It was very hyped in Greenville. And I mean,
what did we say, Harry? Out of what, about 15, 16,000?
We had
it was
between
only
15,
about
16,000 because it was probably about 80 seats. In Greenville, the Bon Secure Wellness Arena holds 1,600. It has 1,600 seats, and for wrestling, it holds 1,600. So it was jam packed. But we watched Friday night. You did SmackDown. We thought that arena was big. It looked like it was bigger than Greenville. They made that thing look huge.
And you know what? It's only you know what, and it's not near as big as like State Farm.
Right.
I would say it probably. I mean, it's got 2 levels. Well, you know, you got your floor level, and then you got your 100 level, and they got a 200 level. I was wondering why everybody was getting booked all of a sudden in Savannah. I'm like, what's going? And Market Arena is actually new. It was built in 22.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's right off of I-16 next to the last exit.
Right.
Before the interstate ends, and it's right off the interstate. Very easy to get to. There's parking all around. Obviously, you got to pay. Like we paid $15 for our parking spot. Wasn't bad at all. It was very, very new. I dare say state of the art. They had rental chargers, and nice. And of course, I don't know if y'all knew or not, judging from my Facebook post or whatnot, but I actually didn't know I was going till the Wednesday before. My best friend surprised me with tickets.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I woke up Wednesday morning and she asked me for my Ticketmaster info. I was like, "What you talking about? Why you want that?" And then, like, my mom's car was out of commission, the battery was dead, so I had to scramble to find somebody to go with me. And the guy that went with me, I've known him a long time, but he was complaining the whole way there and the whole way back. But the whole time we was at the show, he didn't say shit.
I heard you talking to him.
My God!
I was listening to some of that on your TikTok and everything.
I love him dearly. Don't get me wrong. I love him dearly, but he drives me up the wall on those trips, and I'm just like, but I'm glad he was complaining. He was in pain and stuff. Didn't even ask me to drive. I would have had no problem driving, but he didn't ask me to drive. So, but I was like, dude, you basically got a free, from the tickets. And then my bestie, bless her heart, because y'all know I've been sick almost a year now. I can't really work or anything right now. Bless her heart. These tickets, they were in club level. Like, they had like a little club section and everything. They were $200 a piece, and then she gave me an extra $100 for gas and food. Basically, so we basically got a free trip. From start to finish, and I'm like, dude, my nephew went to his cousin's graduation. That's why he didn't go, and I wasn't gonna have him choose that. That's not right. So
but that's a blessing. I
was like, dude, you basically got a free trip. You're blocking your blessings. Shut up.
That's a great blessing, bro.
Just enjoy the ride, bro.
My best friend has been wonderful. She pays my phone bill every month because, my mother lives on Social Security and really, can't, those that live on Social Security, you only get a set amount. And which, with everything going up and everything, it's just, it's very hard for seniors today, but,
there's no doubt.
But yes, I mean, she has been absolute blessing to me. And, that was so sweet that she invested that much money for my birthday because she knows what a hard time I'm going through, and she just wanted to see me have a good time, and that just really warmed my heart.
Well, we're very happy to hear that. But next time, next show in Greenville, definitely. Hey, we're gonna try to get with you. Definitely gonna try to get with you, especially on a Raw. So you can go to a Raw. But man,
look, we're still podcasting.
Yeah, we still podcasting.
Man.
All right, but
she just had to get her camera time. That's all. She just had to get camera time.
All right, so you want to say anything about Carlito, Chris, before we get on to ask you about what went down at Turbo?
Well, Carlito, man, that was a shocker to me. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was just having to be like, somebody said, I was going through my Facebook timeline, and they'd be like, and Carlito got released. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? And then I looked, I'm like, okay, he won the belt. And then I was like, he did get released. Okay, alrighty.
I'm not really all that surprised, but like I said earlier, like after they had him in the Judgment Day, I just really didn't take the Judgment Day seriously anymore. After that, I just, he was the odd man out. I mean, I love Carlito. Don't get me wrong, you know, but I just thought that was an odd fit.
It was. It
at least
really
with
was.
R-Truth at work, but Carlito, he was just like a sore thumb. He stood out like a sore thumb.
And you know what? I was thinking that Carlito was like one of these, like in the NBA, Chris, they have like these guys, they give them a 15-day contract or whatever. Yeah. I was thinking of him like that, that he was he was just shooting through, and they was just
wow. He was
gonna be in the WWE for a few weeks, today. He was gonna be gone, man. But
that's how little you think of that man. But God, that's hard.
But last time I saw Carlito before he went to WWE, Chris, he was wrestling at Sterling, at the Sterling Community Center here in Green. Yeah. That's the last time I seen him. And where Danny was, Danny was at the show, and Danny made a tape, made one of the discs and Carlito was headlining that show. And it was a sellout at the Sterling Community Center. But to me, in my opinion, I started looking at Carlito as an indie guy. It's he's this indie guy that works for UFC. I think the name of the company is UFC, Universal Federation Championship Wrestling or something like that, UFCW or whatever. And I just started looking at him as a indie guy. And then next thing you know, he's back in the WWE, and I just couldn't get with it, man. I'm just
I really enjoyed his spot in Backlash. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. One of the two. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But
right.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And of course, he sold that spear from Braun Breaker like nobody's business.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of released wrestlers going into the indie scene, there's a wrestling promotion.
Thanks, Eric. I see that
in Barnesville. This is probably about an hour and a half for me. It's called Wrestle America. I want to say at one point Luke Gallows did own that, but I don't know the really details of it. But he was heavily involved with it before they got re-signed in WWE in 2016. That's where I met AJ Styles, and then of course Cody Rhodes went there before he went to AEW. They had all these connections in Japan and stuff. That's where I met Tama Tonga and saw him, and so a friend of mine and I were talking about it. We were thinking about maybe going back and checking it out again when we had time. So I was like, just whenever, because this I know they had to move to another venue. I guess that other place they were doing was doing Reno or something, but it was I went there about twice for sure, maybe 3 times, but I enjoyed it. It was very nice. They had merchandise booths all around. Nice. Yeah, it was a very good experience. The times that I went, and of course when I was working, I didn't have time to go, and didn't really want to make that trip. And but yeah, we've been talking about it, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, so Eric said it was UCW, Universal Championship Wrestling. Yeah, that's what I was thinking what it was, Eric. I couldn't think of the letters, but yeah, now that you say it, yeah, I remember.
You know what? Go ahead. You're still in the comments.
Okay, I've got an update on Carlito. Something he said on his X.
Oh, what did he say?
This is hold on to your butts on this one. He said, my contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently, quote unquote, stealing money from the company.
I saw that earlier. I was like,
he said he's having his lawyers look into that. After renewing the footage on Netflix for the past months, they suggest I pay them back the money.
You don't think it has nothing to do with that snack cake memo that was circulating, do you?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know either.
That is crazy.
I saw that, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
y'all sound like the hotel I used to work at. Don't do this. Don't do that, dude.
I'm like, wow, paying back money. I've never heard of. I'm not saying it's not possible, but that's a first. Pay back money because you say I'm stealing from the company. Oh wow! So if that's true, they really thought that he was just there getting a check and mooching and not working. Well, you only got so much TV time.
We might see that on Dark Side of the Ring in the next 5 years. You never know.
Exactly. I mean, you got to think. You only got so many time slots or TV slots, and you only got so much time to put so many people on TV. Everybody can't have a match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to do that, put them on like a speed or a main event or even a dark match after the show goes off.
Yeah, they don't even do dark matches anymore, at least the ones I've been to.
Now, the last SmackDown they had when they came to Greenville, it's been about 2 years now. They had a dark match. They had Cody versus Dominic for the title. Obviously, in about 3 minutes, that match was over with. Yeah, that was a legit 3-minute match.
I was gonna say too. I was gonna bring up 2 things, and then I'll get off here so y'all can talk about y'all's show y'all went to. But
oh, you're good. You can stay. You good.
Yeah, you can stay. Yeah, you stay on with us.
Well, I need to get to bed shortly.
Oh, we do too.
But
I'm off.
Did y'all? Okay, all right. Now, I saw something online today, and I knew it was coming. But somebody actually, there was a post on Facebook, and somebody actually commented they thought Carmelo Hayes was getting buried, and I'm like, that dude is getting TV time every week. He's got nothing to worry about. I was, I kind of like Miz in this manager role for him. Is it, it's the odd couple type of thing. It might not be what you want, or we know he's capable of great stuff, but
he is.
When you go to the main roster, it's a given. You crawl before you walk. The thing is, Carmelo Hayes is getting TV time every week. That's my thing. And then he's on TV with The Miz. He done won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which I know it don't mean a whole lot these days, but I do like the chain he has. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then they just had a little program with Aleister Black. So I mean, that was something that was included in his show every week, and there was no kind of miss or anything. I did even though Aleister Black lost in the Money in the Bank qualifier, I was really hoping Carmelo or Miz would interfere in that, and they didn't. So that was my only gripe about that. But, they had a little program. He's on TV every week.
Yeah, he is.
He's not being buried in the least. Come on now.
No. I mean, that's the thing, when you're on that level, you want to be on TV. So you can get your face out there, get, your T-shirt sales up or whatever.
The more exposures he's getting, the more people are getting used to him.
Well,
exactly.
Listen, I mean, he's not being buried, but I can understand that people are saying that. Some people may see it that way because they're not taking him to the next level. I mean, it's kind of like LA Knight before he won that United States Championship. Finally won that, and he worked so hard for so long,
right?
And he kept marketing. He had to keep marketing himself and building himself back up. And he was so successful at doing that. But it just seemed like every time he tried to step over that finish line, he got knocked back 2 steps. So I can kind of see what people are saying a little bit about that. Because
buried is, when Top Dollar was on SmackDown, Michael Cole buried him every week. He really didn't like him, Yeah,
right. Yeah, but he's definitely not being buried, but he's not being taken. he's not being taken over the top like they did in NXT. So
I think it's slow and steady with him.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah. So
and speaking of Michael Cole,
speaking of buried, huh?
What about Michael Cole?
Oh, he lost that bet to Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he did. He's got to wear a tank top during the Raw.
He's got to wear a tank top during Raw. He can't wear a suit. He's got to rock a tank top because they basically said that the Knicks will beat the Pacers, and if the Knicks did beat the Pacers, or the Knicks beat the Pacers, Pat McAfee would have had to wear a suit on TV.
Pacers beat the living daylights
out of him. And since it was the other way around, now you're gonna see Michael Cole in a tank top on Monday night.
All right, Laura was about to say something. What you about to say?
Yes, I was gonna say this be the last thing I'll talk about because I know y'all got other stuff to talk about and I need to get back. Cool. Speaking of buried, did y'all catch the dark side of the ring about Muhammad Hassan?
No, I have not.
It is really good. I suggest that when y'all get time, give it a watch. It was really good.
Okay, I'll check that out.
You have to check that out. I have not.
When they announced it, that was the episode I was looking forward to the most. But
okay.
I want to see the dark side of the ring on Harry's boy Tony Ellis, Mr. Feet Man.
Oh, that was so good. I watched that the other day. It was very good.
I want to watch that.
I'm definitely gonna watch that. Tony Ellis was the man. Tony Ellis was the man.
But they weren't even talking about that, man. The first thing I see about his dark side, I was like,
it don't matter, Chris. You got a fetish too. You got a fetish, man. Nia Jax.
He got me when he said he turned down the title opportunity for the fetish. I was like,
Tony did that for real?
It was something to that effect. Yes, he talks about that. He talks about that, and I'm like, he did what? Oh my
if
God.
you was wrestling and you got a chance to be with Nia Jax for a week or two, they say, hey, Chris, you can stay in the same room with Nia Jax. You could be with Nia Jax. You gonna turn down that title too?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you would. Yeah,
you know why? You know why? Because I get that championship bonus in my check. They ain't giving me no championship bonus.
Hey, Tony Atlas was the second highest everywhere he went, unless if.
He's one of those that's still a draw today too.
Yeah, he was either the highest paid wrestler or he was the second highest paid. Only time he was the second highest paid is when Harley Race was on the card as the world champion.
He did
Ric
talk
Flair,
about
somebody
that too.
was on the card. Tony Atlas always was one of the top draws, man, and always made the top money. Always, even if he didn't have a title.
He's still a draw today. Anything he does.
Chris, he made a lot of money, man. He was like Dusty Rhodes. Wherever he went, he made money. I mean, you just don't. Know.
Yeah, definitely watched that too.
But yeah,
you
just don't know.
I think it was something to that effect, but I could have misquoted that. But
I could pull.
That's what I got out of it. And I'm like, oh my God.
I could pull up sheets, Chris. He was drawing in 1982-83. He was getting paid like $4,200 on a night. And he was wrestling 3-4 times a week. And so he was making like $16,000 a week, man, wrestling. You going to Kansas City, he would go to Houston, he would go to Virginia. Wherever he went, man, he drew big money. Big money.
But it's crazy. A lot of them jokers now, they really just, I'm like, y'all were living too hard, man. Y'all partying too much.
Chris.
Look, they was built different back then.
Yeah,
Some of the things that they have done, oh my gosh.
Remember that was the cocaine?
I watched Tales from the Territories today. I watched the AWA episode and the CWF episode. I tell you what, Mad Dog Vachon was wild. Okay, the stories that they were talking about him. Oh my God!
and Luna was cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
she was cut from the same.
cloth. They got her in some kind of different wing in the WWE Hall of Fame, which I'm pissed about because I really feel like that Luna really didn't get her flowers. Her dark side of the ring was sad too. After her and Sable's WrestleMania match, they gave Sable like flowers, and they didn't get her anything. And I'm like, that's shitty. Wow. I hate that for her. She really was a key part in revitalizing women's wrestling in that part of the Attitude Era, and just seeing that she didn't get their credit that she deserved. That sucks.
Yeah, because she wasn't a bombshell blonde.
Sable was the hottest ticket at the time, but I felt like Luna deserves credit too, because she got Sable to that point.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was hot back then. I was ready for it.
Okay. All right, Chris, where we at on the comments?
Eric Thunder said, Chris, you and Harry need to make a trip to OVW.
Okay.
Said we need to go up to Kentucky.
All right.
For the Thrill says Hog Tie TKO. Hashtag Hog Tie TKO.
What's going on for the Thrill? Glad that you joined us.
Yeah, a lot of people are not very happy with TKO right now, and with good reason.
Yeah, and I'm sure their emails and inboxes are going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Flyby says we need truth back.
Yes, sir.
I agree. And Captain says Usos may look good for the ladies, but they lose me when they do the super kicks every 5 seconds.
Yeah, they can get into them super
Young
kicks.
Bucks do more than that, I promise you.
Young Bucks do a lot. But it's just the Usos. Those Usos, man, they like I said, they have it as far as their cred, as far as like a street credibility. They have it, man. They just look like these two cool guys, and as a tag team, they very believable. The believability that they have, that is very important to me in wrestling, and those guys have it. So,
Okay. All right. Black Rain says, how will Mariah May do in WWE?
I don't know about all that.
I forgot she was getting ready to come over.
Yeah, she is coming over, yeah.
I think with the purge they just did in NXT, I think she's going to end up there first. I think that's very much needed. I think I think they're going to be all right. I don't agree with the releases that they did. I don't like with Gigi and all them.
Right.
They done between Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan. They just purged like the top stars in the women's roster. So I definitely think Mariah May is going to take place of one of them. But I cannot get over JC Jane as the NXT Women's Champion, and I like JC Jane. Don't get me wrong,
she was on the losing streak too.
She was, and she was just like, I just saw her as nothing more than a sidekick. Like, she was good. Right. I like her look and everything, but I was like, I don't see her as world champion material yet. And shit, they proved me wrong.
But they had to put that belt on somebody, and she was just the one that they chose.
Fallon would have been a better fit, but I digress.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Listen,
the person that needs it, the person I think should be next in line to get it and should get it, Jada Parker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They need to strap the rocket on her and let her go.
And one thing. Listen, I know, Chris, like you said, man. Hey, that's their little tradition now. Anytime somebody leave NXT, they always have them jokers lose. Man,
that was just such a shock Tuesday. There's talk that Ricky Saints will be going to the main roster too, but I don't know. I thought he was fine in NXT for now, but again, we don't make the rules.
But yeah, my thing is this.
I just hope they don't drop the ball on him because I love me some Ricky Saints.
I mean, why in the world have these guys be the champion and then lose? Man, Karrion Kross was unbeatable in NXT, in my opinion. Then next thing you know, hey, he loses there, and then he goes up to the main roster. Jeff Hardy beats him. Then he loses again to Keith Lee the next week.
Well, you got to think, Harry. You got to think, man.
He never been the same since then.
But Harry, anytime a champion is on their way out to go somewhere else for a long, like if Ric Flair went to WWE, the only reason he took that belt with him because it was his personal belt.
Oh, they didn't do that back then, Chris. People left regions all the time. They would have like loser leave town matches and things like that, they did not always lose. I mean, if people had titles, a lot of times those titles was put up in tournaments, man. They did not bury people like that. A lot of times,
that's a tradition. Believe it or not, it's a tradition. If a champion is leaving on their way out, they got to leave that title. Like I said, the only
it wasn't always the case. That wasn't always the case. That's what I'm just saying. It wasn't always the case. Sometimes it was. I'm just saying in Mid-Atlantic, it wasn't. And, as far as Jim Crockett Promotions, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't always necessarily that you were going to lose the title. Sometimes you did, and sometimes you didn't. But, I mean, now I can see if it's a different company. You go into a different company, but this is the same company. It does not matter, that NXT is a different brand. I mean, it's the same company. So you're saying, okay, Stephanie Vicure, you come over and you have proven yourself that you are the best female wrestler that we have over here in NXT, and that you're just dominant. But since you're going up to the main roster, you're good enough to go up to the main roster and fight our best. We're gonna have you lose to JC Jane, who's been on a losing streak. I mean, it makes no kind of sense. We're gonna have JC
right,
Jane
make it make sense. That was the whole thing everybody was getting at.
JC Jane's are gonna take you out, but we're gonna put you up there where you're gonna be with Becky Lynch. You're gonna be up there with Bianca Belair. We're gonna put you up there with Rhea Ripley. We're gonna put you because you know what? We think that you're good enough to be in this class with these other people, with these people right here. But hey, JC Jane, she gonna take you out because you ain't good enough to beat JC Jane to hold off JC Jane.
I do like that they cheated. That Fallon interfered in the match. That's
okay. That
yeah,
right there.
Fallon did interfere in the match, so it kind of I was like, okay, there was interference, so okay. That makes me feel a little better, but
it does.
Like I said, Jane has a good look and everything, but I was just like, dang, are they just going to throw her out to the wolves or what?
Yeah, because Stephanie is very good. I mean, she's very talented.
Yes,
yes. See, that's what gets to me, Chris. I'm like, now if somebody worthy beats you, that's a whole different ball game. Like say if Roxy was still down there, Roxanne Perez was still down there, and she beat Stephanie Vicure. I can understand that, but man, you gotta make it make sense. Like I said, hey, don't tell me that Rocky King or the Moki brothers are gonna beat Midnight Express on their way out. Hey, they gotta drop it. So we gonna have them drop it to George Soft and Denny Brown. And I know you don't know who I'm talking about, Laura Presley, but it's like I know you know who the Rock and Roll Express is. Let's say the Rock and Roll Express dropping the belts down to Barry Horowitz and who else, Chris, was a jobber over there that that you guys would know. Barry Horowitz,
the Moondogs.
Barry Horowitz and say the Repo Man. Those two teamed up.
Oh shit!
And they was gonna beat the Rock and Roll Express on their way out. Come on, man. It was just like, I mean,
but like you said, it was interference. It was interference.
It was interference. So that was good.
I'll make
makes it an easier pill to swallow.
I'll make another comment too. I don't know if y'all watched Evolve or not. I caught a couple of episodes of it last night.
I need to catch it back up with it.
It's been a while
since
I don't have I didn't see enough of the men yet. I do like, I think it's Harlem Lewis is his name. I do like him, but Kelly Armstrong was their women's champion now, and she's going to be a big deal in NXT. That was the right call as far as the first champion goes for that. Okay. She's a beast. And then of course y'all know Kylie Ray's in it. And there's another
Nikita
one. Her name is
Kendall.
Kendall Gray is someone to watch. She has a collegiate wrestling background, so that's gonna play very well for her. And then of course I'm kind of biased on this one, but Chantel Moreau, she was a gymnast in Auburn. Her real name is Darian Goborn, and she was their star. Okay. She has obviously she's very athletic with a gymnastics background. She could stick to it. She could, she has a lot of potential. So like I said, that's just that's just I'm biased, but Kalani Jordan was a gymnast as well from Michigan State. So I mean, we'll see how good she's doing right now. But yeah, I was very impressed with the women. I didn't like all of them, but like Kelly Armstrong, Kendall Gray. There might have been a couple others, and I can't think of right now, but those are notable names to watch out for. Okay. And like I said, as far as the guys, Harlan Lewis, I was really impressed with him. I'm going to watch a couple more episodes on the guys and see, check them out. But yeah, I mean, I was telling the friend of mine last night, I was like, well, you kind of got to be easy on them. A lot of them are going to be extremely green. You gotta,
exactly. That's true.
You gotta be easy on them. But for the most part, they were impressive. The Fatal 4-Way with it was like Chantel, Kendall, Callie. I can't remember the other girl's name. It was actually it was a rough start, but it actually ended up being really good. And they got a "This Is Awesome" chant, and I'm like, that's pretty damn good for Evolve.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes me wonder too.
But yeah, the NXT women's division is going to be fine. It's just a matter of getting people where they need to be. And
it makes me wonder too, is Nikita Lyons possibly on her way out?
I wish
because she's in Evolve now, and that's a step backwards.
Well, Lexis King was on there too. I wouldn't say that would be a back demotion for him, but
right.
When we had all these women released, I was very shocked they kept her, Nikki Lyons. She don't really do nothing for me. And I know she's injury prone.
Yes,
but yeah, I was I would have cut her over Gigi and Shotzi. Like, come on.
And plus, she wrestles like what was the Latino girl that the Hispanic girl that does the mixed martial artist. What was her name?
Oh, Lola Vice.
Lola Vice. Yeah, they wrestle. They are similar. They're similar, but Lola is a lot better. She's a lot smoother. Is Lola still going? Because I haven't watched.
I think she kind of she tried to help Stephanie during the match.
Okay.
Tuesday. So she's kind of got a thing with Fatal Influence right now.
Okay.
And I still can't get over they got rid of Jakara Jackson. Like, she was like this.
She was
close to being on the main roster permanently.
Yeah, she was getting very good. So
I
got to give it to him.
That was just mind-boggling for me. But yeah, Jada Parker would be my NXT Women's Champion next, or Lash Legend. I would choose either one. I know, right? Trash Legend. She's actually winning me over.
She's getting very good. I mean, hey. She was the one. She was the only one who was really handling. Remember, Jade, Chris, in that whatever that match was.
It was a tag match.
Yes, it was tag match, and she was really handling Jade pretty good. I mean, matching up power wise and everything. So yeah, Lash, I'm very shocked at how she really has pretty much progressed over this time.
I think Lash improves with every match she does. And I saw I've heard commentary say she used to play basketball.
Yeah, she did for Jacksonville.
I was like, no wonder she she has that body of a basketball player. So I mean, I think that serves her really well. Yeah, I used to couldn't stand her even before I knew she was a Trick, but I just didn't get her at the time.
Right.
She's winning me over now. I think she's more established.
Right.
Okay.
Y'all remember our friend Jamie? I was texting him. I was like, you know what? I think I like Lash Legend. He was like, really?
That is funny.
Oh yeah.
The strong-faced lady.
Chris, man, you just
Hey man, hey, I'm just it's straight up. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not the only one that said that. I'm not the only person that said that.
No, you're not. No, you're not. That's true. She does have that strong jawline, man. There's no doubt.
kind of like Maria Shriver, man. on a Schwarzenegger's ex-wife.
Oh gosh! Wow. Man, that's sad. That's sad. But yeah, that's probably why Arnold was cheating on her. Who knows, man? It's sad. It's sad, man. Come on, man. He married her.
It had to be something there. I
don't think that's the reason he did it, man. He just a man. I mean, he got caught up and let it override him. And that maid wasn't that good looking. Why in the world are we talking about that?
Hey man, you talking about jawlines and Maria Shriver got a strong jawline, man.
Hey, what? And Lash Legend does, and I tell you what, Trey Williams like it. So I mean,
hey, more power to him.
Hey, if he likes it, I love it. That's the way I look at things these days. Yeah. Hey, if you like it, I love it. I'm not going to spend no more time on it.
Hey, there's a lot more beautiful women that's around Trey than Lash. So
that's what he wants. So
but he picked Lash. So I mean, there must be something special about her.
Yeah,
Chris.
They just bought a home together and everything.
Yeah, they did. They did do that. I forgot about that. Yeah, they took pictures.
Look, if you got, because NXT got a lot of good looking women. All I gotta say is that many good looking women around you, and not just that. I mean, him as a wrestler, he's gonna have a lot of women come at him. If he picked her, there's something about her. I mean, might not be her looks, because like you said, you seen her live. You thought she was ugly as I don't know what. I remember you seen her live. But which show did she come here to Greenville? SmackDown, I think she was here.
SmackDown. It was SmackDown.
But my nephew really likes Sol Ruca, which I think she's really good too. She actually,
she's very good.
She actually wrestled Ivy Nile on Speed before our SmackDown aired, and it was really good. I'm usually not a fan of the short matches, but this was really good. Talk about maximizing your minutes. Both of them understood the assignment. So
okay, good. But
guys, it's 2:00. I need to go to bed.
Have a great night.
Y'all too. I'm glad I got to hang out with y'all for a little while.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Before you go, let everybody know once again where they can find you and your partner.
Okay, Peaches and Power Moms. We are on Facebook and YouTube. We do have an X account. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Olora Presley.
There you go, guys.
Right.
And again, I'm taking like a little break right now, but I don't know when I'm actually going to come back on. But I figured it was kind of a good time to talk about a few things tonight because we had so much going on. And Marie and I just couldn't really make it work last week. She was sick, and then she's got VBS next week. So I was like, I'll just come and hang with the guys tonight for a little bit.
I appreciate that. 100%.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you too, Lord. Great to see you. All right, Christopher Burton. Hey, man, what went down? Let's see, yesterday now. Yesterday in Fountain Inn, South Carolina, June the 1st. Turbo Pro Wrestling, man. Let's go ahead and go down that card, and you can tell me exactly what happened.
It was Turbo at the Mill, man.
Turbo at the Mill, yes, in Fountain Inn, South Carolina.
Right down the street from my house, man. And it's my first time being there, and it's a beautiful, beautiful setup. I like how they got it set up, man.
Right.
Perfect for outdoor events. And this worked out great, man. They got a big projector screen and everything, man. It was nice, man. It was nice. You would have liked it, man.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I wish I was there, but I didn't get to go. But hey, maybe next time I will be there. But Chris, let's go ahead and that's the main event. I'm gonna try to get past the main event and go back to some of these other matches.
Yeah, so they had a bonus match, which I didn't get really to see because it was already going on by the time I got there.
Okay.
But I'll get that information or that bonus match before the show officially starts. But the first match of the show, the official first match, was Elijah Proctor versus Tristan Moody.
All right. Yeah,
And
that's the one I was about to ask you about.
yeah, and I was glad to see Elijah back, man. And I got to talk to him after the show.
Good.
And he was injured, and he said he was out for 2 years, man. I thought it was just a year, but he said it was 2.
He's been out for a while, so I had no idea what was going on with him. We know Brittany continues to go on, and she's been wrestling in a lot of places, and that's his girlfriend, fiance. I think they might be engaged, but either way it go, we know they are together, and we remember when they first got together. We was around when they first got together. We used to see Elijah at a lot of shows. So I was shocked that he wasn't wrestling, and then come to find out, he had been injured for a while. And we saw that at one of the Turbo shows here in Greenville at over there in Justin. He let us know, or was it Brittany? One of them let us know that he was injured and everything, but we did get to talk to Elijah. But so what happened in this match, man? I know about Tristan Moody, but I never have seen him wrestle. At least I don't think.
He is good, man. This guy, he's very smooth in the ring. Not that tall in stature.
Right.
Probably about my height or your height, somewhere in between.
Right.
Very athletic, man. He's a mixture of, it's wild to say, like a Kurt Angle and a Rey Mysterio. He combines the both. He can do actual wrestling, and he's a high flyer too, man. So this was a good match. Now, when I was talking to Elijah after the show, we knew Elijah when he was a high flyer doing all these crazy moves and aerobatics. But since I've talked to him, he says that he can't do it anymore because of his prior injury.
Right.
Which he's working around, and unfortunately, he says he's got some bone spurs in his neck. So he had a shot injected into a vertebrae, but the doctor injected the wrong vertebrae. So he has to go back and get another shot to the right vertebrae. And he says, hopefully it takes care of what it's supposed to take care of. Not, he's going to have neck surgery.
Okay. Wow.
But so the match was good, man. About a 15-minute match. It was great. And Elijah, definitely because of his neck injury, wrestles a whole different style now.
Okay.
He can still do some high-flying stuff, but not as much. And he's learned to slow things down and make it a little bit more entertaining, because obviously his body, it just doesn't work the way it used to because of the injury, and he's been out of the ring for a while, so he's still trying to get back in the ring shape and everything. So, but he ended up winning that match, and I gave that match about 2.5 stars on that match. Man.
Okay. And man, so Elijah Proctor took out Tristan Moody, and all prayers out from the Straight Up Wrestling Show to Elijah Proctor. And hey, hopefully everything will be taken care of, man. He gets his thing taken care of, and because I would love to see him back in his old form, but it's good to hear that he was wrestling in wrestling a little different and still able to come out with the win, because we know as you get older, and Elijah, he's still a young guy and everything, but he's going to get older. You're going to want to be able to wrestle in a different style. And this right here is probably a preview for him and everything, that, hey, what the future can be like, even though he is a high flyer. He has been a high flyer. And even if he goes back, he's still doing some high flying moves, even if he goes back to relying on a lot more after he has the surgery. If he has to have surgery, that still can wrestle in this other style and pretty much still come out on top. Okay, what was next match, Christopher Burton?
Next match, we had a women's tag match, man.
Okay.
A women's tag match. We had Audrey Allen and Amanda Kiss versus Mila Johnson and Erica Dima.
Okay, cool.
Now,
we'll get down in this match.
This was a good match, man, because we know excuse me. We know Audrey Allen from Deep South out of Georgia.
Right. Oh yeah.
So she came up for this show, and it was a good match, man. I mean, obviously her and her partner haven't obviously tagged that much.
Mm-hmm.
And some parts of the match it did show. They were kind of a little off, but they made it work.
Right.
This match was probably about 5.5 minutes or so, maybe 6 minutes. But Audrey Allen and her partner ended up getting the win on that one, and I gave that one 2 stars.
Okay, 2 stars on that match. Okay, and we don't get to see a lot of tag team matches, but it's good that they did have tag team matches among women. So it was good that they did have a tag team match with the women. I would have loved to have been out there to see that. So congratulations to Audrey Allen. And what was her partner? Who was her partner?
Audrey Allen and Amanda Kiss.
All right, yeah. Congratulations to Audrey and Amanda Kiss in their win over Mila Johnson and Erica Dima. All right, yeah. So I know all 4 of those girls. All right, but so who was the next match, Chris?
Well, we didn't have it was a talking segment.
Okay.
Is a fireside chat with BK Westbrook and Ella Envy.
My girl Ella.
Man Scout. Yes, Man Scout. Yes. And Man Scout basically just had a in-ring interview segment with those two.
Okay. Cool.
And it was a good segment. Overall, I have no complaints about it. But Harry, it ended up turning into a world title match.
Right.
Handicap match. Yeah, you heard me right. So it was basically BK Westbrook and Ella Envy versus Man Scout for the title.
Oh, wow.
So Man Scout ended up getting a title shot, but he had to wrestle both of them. And it was good, man. Man Scout definitely held his own. The tent came into play. He threw him in the tent and got zipped up, and they were rumbling and bumbling around in the tent and stuff, and everything and whatnot. And well, when they came out, man, I tell you, BK Westbrook and Ella Envy didn't look like they had a good time in there, man. They come out looking like they was hurting, boy. So I don't know what Man Scout was. He put a whooping on them boys in that tent.
Okay.
But,
cool.
Ultimately, BK and Ella, obviously they won because it was 2 against 1.
Right.
And I would give that for the entertainment, the whole thing from this whole segment, from the talking interview segment to the end of the match, I would give that 3 stars. It was very entertaining.
Cool. Good. So we have 2.5, 2, and 3. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, after that, we had an intermission, and I was able to get our man, Brett Wolverton. He was there.
Okay, all right. That's good.
Yeah, our man, Brett Wolverton. It was good seeing him there, man, and I got some of his famous cookies. And, man, them things was, them things good, man.
Great cookies, man. Great cookies.
Yeah, that man, he's not just a heck of an announcer. He is a awesome cook or a baker. Yeah, that man is good. So we come out of intermission, Harry, and now we're getting ready to have a tag dog mayhem match.
Right.
Not just a mad dog mayhem match, which we've seen before. A tag dog mayhem match.
Yeah,
and I know you think
tag dog mayhem.
What is a tag dog? Well, it was basically anything goes. Everybody in the ring, 6 men fighting and hitting each other and it was chaotic, man. It was chaos. I love it. I love the hair. That's my kind of wrestling right there.
Right.
You ain't down with the chaos, Harry, like I am.
No, I'm not into the chaos too much, but hey, Turbo puts on some entertaining, and that's one thing I will say. Over the years that we've been watching Turbo, they have put on some entertaining chaos. So, hey, let me know about it, man. How it went down.
Man, well, you basically had the SEE, the Sports Entertainment, I want to say Sports Entertainment Elite, which is, I can't think of his first name, but Johnson and
James Johnson.
Yeah, James Johnson and his daughter, and Dom Furio.
Right.
And your boy, Harry, Drew Hood.
I see Drew Hood.
Yeah, I was like, oh, boy, Harry missing his boy, Drew Hood. Boy, I'm like,
yeah.
Man. So those three, Johnson, Furio, and Drew Hood, they wrestled D'Angelo, our man Mean Dean Richards, and obviously Josh Powers, Mad Dog Josh Powers.
Right.
Now, Furio, Johnson, and Hood were the first ones in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were hyping up the crowd and everything. You know, the crowd was booing them. They could, you know, and whatever. Then first comes out D'Angelo. He comes out there. D'Angelo comes out. Then you had Mean Dean. Then you had Mad Dog comes out. And then next thing you know, all heck breaks loose, man. They just in the ring scrapping, going at it. You know how they do, man. You know how they get down, man. So they going at it, man. And that match, it goes about 15 minutes, man. And it's great. Some of the things they did were amazing. I've never seen done in a match before. And it was just a good match, man. And the way it ended, because you know Mad Dog indoors. He loves doors. That's his thing, Harry.
Oh yeah, Judge. We will get. I see that. I see you comment. We will get to that in just a moment.
Yeah, Judge. We'll get to that. So yeah, so Mad Dog, Josh Powers, he loves doors. And Harry, you know this. So in the match, you had your Legos. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there were Legos in the match. People getting slammed and DDT'd on Legos. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. You Harry, you know how they get down with them Legos. You know this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wow.
it was a mess.
They Legos, man. Wow.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, you gotta think, man. Legos hurt, man.
Yeah, they hurt. That's what I'm saying.
They hurt, man.
I wouldn't want to be involved in that. Goodness sake.
So people getting slammed and suplex on Legos and stuff, and it was just, oh my gosh. And then you had then you had Don Furio got hit in the head with a trash can by Josh Power, Mad Dog.
Oh God.
And then you had then at one point you had Furio, Hood, and Johnson hitting the other three with chairs across the back and stuff. It was just chaos all over the place, man.
Right.
And the greatest, most awesome spot, I would say, looked like it was gonna be a double power bomb superplex with Don Furio.
Okay.
But it ended up happening. What ended up happening, Johnson and Hood get taken out. They get taken out of the equation. They get slammed on the Legos again.
Okay.
Furio still on the top rope, straddling the top rope, up on the turnbuckle. Either Mean Dean or D'Angelo, I can't remember which one, decided, okay, since Hood and Johnson are on all fours,
right,
I'm gonna put the door across their back.
Okay.
So they holding up. So you get So if you can think about two cinder blocks and put a door on two cinder blocks, that's basically what it looked like, but two people. But it was people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what happens next?
What's that?
Mad Dog.
Oh gosh, I know something had to be something crazy had to happen.
Harry, I've never seen it before.
No.
He basically went to that top rope where Don Furio was and superplexed him off the top rope through the doors between his teammates.
Oh my gosh.
So you literally had Johnson, Hood, and Furio in a pile of Legos and a broke door.
Oh my God.
And got covered for a 1, 2, 3. So D'Angelo, Mean Dean, and Mad Dog end up winning the match.
Okay. Well, congratulations to Mad Dog's team with D'Angelo and Don Furio on this team. Defeated.
No. It was Mad Dog, D'Angelo, and Mean Dean.
That's what I thought I said. Okay, and Mean Dean. Okay, I didn't say Mean Dean. But yeah, Mean Dean. Okay, but yeah, congratulations to that trio, and stopping the Johnsons, and stopping Drew Hood, and who else did
Furio,
and
Don Furio.
Furio. So wow, man, that had to be incredible. But man, what did you get that match, Chris?
I gave that one, man. I gave that one 3.5, man. I mean,
Okay.
for the entertainment factor, you got to think those matches, like you've seen them, Harry. They're very entertaining.
Yeah, they are.
And I go with it for the entertainment factor. So I give that 3.5, man. I give that 3.5.
Okay. All right, Judge. Let's see.
Yeah, let's get Judge.
You think Hunter doesn't see color? And then he said, "You guys remind me of my uncles when they speak. I listen. Yeah, pure wisdom. We appreciate that, Judge.
Appreciate that, Judge. Appreciate it,
we
man.
definitely try to get those messages across. But do you think Hunter doesn't see color? Now, he did have an interview, and he did say that he don't see color, and he just basically I guess he's saying he see the talent, or he sees the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I can't say that he doesn't see color, but do that mean that I think he's racist? No, I don't think he's racist. But most individuals, most people, and this just coming from experience, my years of experience that I lived and everything. When it boils down to it, the majority of people, at the end of the day, they see your color. Even though they might not be racist at all, somewhere your color comes into play.
Exactly.
And then you can have somebody who's a manager, and it comes down to 2 candidates. It comes down to 4 candidates, and you maybe say you got 2 or 3 whites, and then you have 2 blacks. Let's say 5 candidates, 2 blacks and 3 whites,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have 2 other whites that's trying to vie for that position that those black guys are going for, and there's 2 other white guys there, and they could be even on even terms, and you can have an interview with both of them, but at the end of the day, it will come into play sometimes. Self-conscious, your conscience. I don't think, like I say, even if you not at all,
you don't think about it, but it happens.
Yeah, it just happens. It really does. And like I said, that don't mean that you're racist. It's kind of like saying, okay, I had a lot of black friends. I mean, most of my friends was black in school, but I had a lot of white friends too. But when it boils down to it, who did I prefer to hang out with the most?
Mm-hmm.
It came down to the black guys that I hung out with. And, sometimes I hang out with my white friends, hang out with them all day. But the bottom line is, who do you prefer? And subconsciously, I went and hung out with my black friends. So it didn't mean that I didn't have no prejudice at all. But sometimes your mind just carries you to what you're familiar with the most. And that's what I think it is with Triple H. I think 90-something%, let's say 94%, he's not even thinking about color at all. 94%. But then that 5-6% of him will come to that conclusion, without him even thinking, and he's gonna go ahead and choose, that white champion or whatever, maybe a little bit over, or he has that black guy the champion for a while, and then he sees somebody comes up that's white, that's pretty much on and popping with the crowd and everything, and he doesn't hesitate at all to take that title off of him. It happens, man. It's just the way of life, and it can go both ways. And I know for the most part, you're gonna have white people owning the businesses more than black people, but black people own businesses and do the same thing. Same thing with Hispanics, and same thing with Indians. And you can go into a lot of hotels, or you go into a lot of like gas stations that's owned by the Indian population. And for the most part, who's working there? Their own people. Yep. And I know people that's black and white who's applied for those positions, and they got chosen over by those people owned by their own people. And it's not saying, even though, there are some, some little questionable things with that as far as race go, but a lot of times those guys, man, not racist at all. I done been in gyms with them and everything, and a lot of times they're not racist at all, but subconsciously you end up doing that. You just end up doing that, and it doesn't matter who you are, but subconsciously it happens. It happens with all of us, especially women, black women, man, especially black women. They're gonna pick a sister over the color. A Hispanic woman, white woman, Asian woman, they are going to put a sister in that position quicker, and they may not be prejudiced at all, but they want to be around their sisters more than any of them. And yeah, a white woman, a lot of times, especially a Southern white woman, she's going to pick that good, that good Southern Becky down the road before she mess with Tasha or whatever, Shaniqua or whatever whatever name you want to use. Sometimes, even though them the same, but subconsciously she's gonna be like, Becky, come on in, you got a job, or Tara, come on in, you got a job. It happens, man. It really do, and it's sad that it happens that way, but that's just the way we're wired.
Yeah. All right, we got that one. All right, Judge said the reason I say it because of what MVP said.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, here. So now we got the main event of the evening.
All right, man. Let's roll with that main event.
We got the main event of the evening, man. We got the champ, and it was for the championship too. It was for the what was it? What was it? The IWE Women's Championship. You had Brittany Jade, the champion, versus Erica Lee.
All right. Okay. All right. Erica Lee. I don't think I've seen Erica Lee. Wait a minute. Maybe she was at that last show that they did at the mill. I think she was.
She's out of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, man. So
yeah, I think she was. Was a guy with her this time?
No.
She wasn't accompanied with, but I think I've seen her before. Okay, what happened in this match, Chris?
Well, man, this match, like I said, Erica Lee, man, she was the bigger of the two competitors.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Brittany's not a big girl. She really isn't.
No, she really is not a big girl. But it was a good match, man. I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Right.
Erica Lee, like I said, this is my first time seeing her. She definitely put on an excellent show, man. She's very athletic. She's very limber. Should I say? She was able to basically kick Brittany dead in the head.
Oh wow!
Just lifting up a leg and just boom. It was crazy. Even at times it looked like she was gonna overkick her.
Right.
But Brittany put up a good fight. And it was mostly she had to fight from the bottom, if what I mean. Yeah. She basically had to come back, do a lot of comebacks.
Right.
For those that don't know what fighting from the bottom means. But it was a good match. Brittany ended up winning it. Right. And I can go with about 2.5 stars on that match.
Okay, 2.5. Okay, sound like a pretty good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I have no issue with it. And I had there was another match I forgot about. Actually, before the Elijah Proctor match, it was who is it? Dre the Goat versus another one of the Moody boys. It's two of the Moodies. And Dre the Goat, man, he is a extreme high flyer. Right. I think you know who I'm talking about here.
I know who Dre the Goat is. Yeah.
That dude is something amazing, man. If y'all have never seen Dre the Goat and he's ever in your area and he's on the indie card, I suggest you go see him, man. He is worth the price of admission. I promise you. But yeah, that match was a good one.
Okay, good.
And I would give that about 2 stars on that one too. So
okay. All
and
right.
Dre ended up winning on that one too.
Okay, but yeah, outside and yeah, looked like they had a decent crowd, man. All the seats basically filled up. And yeah, it looked like, and it was a nice day. It definitely was a nice day in Greenville County. But hey,
Turbo has a good following too. So
yeah, they do. They definitely have a good following. People come out, see them. Definitely come out to see these guys. And everywhere they go, they always bring a great number. And not just that, they always bring super entertainment. They always bring a lot of entertainment. They're very entertaining, and they give you more than what you bargained for. Anytime that they put together a show, they're going to give you more than what you bargained for. So definitely get out and see Turbo Pro Wrestling any chance that you get. And I know we got on this a little bit late because we was talking about R-Truth and Carlito, but hey, we got to get it. We got into it, and Chris pretty much gave you the rundown. What did you give them show overall, Chris?
Overall, I can go with I can give it a solid 4 overall.
Okay, solid 4. Okay, solid 4.
Now, when I give it a solid 4, I'm vectoring in the crowd, the matches, and the venue.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm factoring all that in to give it an overall 4.
Okay, so 4 stars, man. So hey, that's we don't give too much higher than that. So hey, basically, Chris is saying it was basically an A- show. So with everything combined, that's pretty good. He's either a B plus or A- at the lowest. So, but yeah, that sounds pretty good, Chris. And man, look forward to the next Turbo show, and hopefully, me and you'll get to go out and check that out. The next Turbo show. But yeah, we definitely appreciate everybody coming in. And before you leave out, whatever platform you're on, I'm not even going to give you the full spiel, but whatever platform you're on, make sure you hit that like, share, join, subscribe, wherever we at, whatever platform you're on.
And hit that notification bell wherever you are.
Notification bell. We appreciate you 100% and love everybody that come through. Judge came through tonight. Chris, who else we done had come through tonight?
We had Judge, we had Black Rain, we had Captain,
Flyby for the thrill.
Eric Thunder came in. Jim Milton. Then you had Robert Brown. Man, Robert Brown came in.
Black Rain.
You had Black Rain, and you had Skylar Breeze come through. And also we want to thank our girl Laura Presley from Peaches and Power Bombs coming on 100%. Tonight. Definitely give her a shout out. Y'all go check them out whenever you see them on Peaches and Power Bombs. We want to thank her for coming through, and we had Ray Underwood come in. Man, that was all that we had.
All right, cool. But yeah, we had a good crowd tonight. We appreciate a lot of people coming through that didn't even say anything. Hey, but we appreciate you coming through and checking out the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Hey, Chris and I, we can't stress it enough. Without you, we don't have a show. So hey, come on in and continue to support Straight Up Wrestling Show because we don't just treat you like our fans or anything like that. Hey, you guys are family. Yeah, exactly. So appreciate you. But Christopher Burton, hey, till tomorrow, man. Hey.
Yes, check us for Monday Night Raw. We'll be
Monday
back
Night Raw. And
actually in a few hours, man. We'll be here back on in a few hours.
Exactly. But you have a great night, Christopher Burton and Straight Up Wrestling family. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow or later on today. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, later on today in a few hours. And Judge, thank you, man. Thank you for subscribing, Judge. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that 100%, Judge. Thank you for subscribing. And hey, we hope you enjoy the Straight Up Wrestling Show from here on out. But we'll talk to you guys later. Stay straight up. Peace.